Welcome back, fellas. Today is Monday, April 28th in the MLB, and me and Tony have another slate for you guys. Pretty small slate, but enough plays to fire through. An exciting day to bounce back, per usual. I didn't do any MLB plays. I loaded up on the NBA slate this weekend, so I'm looking to get back into the MLB on Monday. Tony, how'd you do this weekend?
Yesterday was tragic. I think I went like 2 for 5 or something, and it was one of those days where, like, I feel like all my bets that lost at one point I counted them as wins. Like the Eric Fede under strikeouts, I was like, he's only got like 2 through like 3.5, 4 innings. He's getting crushed. He's gonna get pulled soon. Like, that's a cash. Ends up getting like a last-second strikeout to go over. Tarek Skubal was fucking dominating. Nice pitch count through 6. For whatever reason, don't bring him out for the 7th. Can't get that extra out. So it was tough. I thought it was going to be one of those days where I get like mega plus money cashes and shit. And it was actually probably my worst day of the week. So that was unfortunate. Felt really like Shadur Sanders getting the call that I got drafted, and it ended up being Jeff Ulbricht's son.
Yeah, no, that's relatable as fuck. Yesterday I had the same thing, but for the NBA side of things, so I feel you. I had Luka over 44.5 PRA. He had 38 points and had 3 total rebounds and assists, which I don't think has happened in his career in, no joke, like 3 years. So that was really cool. Lakers I had winning. They ended up losing in the very last second. I had another few. I don't know if you saw the Pistons end of that game against the Knicks, where the Knicks blatantly fouled on a 3-point shot, which would have put them at the line to win the game for Detroit, and there was no call. Game just ended. It's kind of insane. But
dude, have you seen? I just saw this morning on the way here. Who's that chick that people are like memeing about the Knicks game?
I don't know. Like, I saw it like once or twice, but I didn't like look into it at all. But I definitely know, like, I know the person you're talking about for sure.
Yeah, the black-haired chick who's like going like this.
Yes,
yeah, I couldn't figure out who that was.
Yeah, I have no idea who she is, but I've seen her a few times now. I just don't.
There was, on Twitter this morning, there was like back-to-back posts with her, both with like 2 million impressions. I had no idea what was going on. Someone explain that to me in the comments.
Yeah, someone explain that. But let's hop straight into the slate. Let's waste no more time. The Mets and Nationals is going to be the first game here at the 4:05 slot. Mets are favored to win -155 compared to +140 for the Nationals. Over under this game, you get a 9.5 and or 10 money lines with the Mets. Spread is with the Mets. Total is on the over. We have Griffin Canning and Trevor Williams on the mound. Where are you at for this one?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of gross, but I think the Nats +145, like, that seems like a pretty good price to back them as dogs here. Griffin Canning's having a pretty nice season. I think he's performing a little bit better than maybe his like expected metrics are, but you know, still very solid pitcher. Trevor Williams on the other side, very fucking sketch. I've already had a couple bets backing him this year. I haven't panned out. Feel like I should probably stop backing Trevor Williams, but you know, he's a veteran that will give you 5 innings, nothing more, nothing less. Really limits walks. Doesn't give up a ton of barrels or hard hits. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel good about it, but I do think +145 is a little excessive for the Nats here.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good spot. I'm looking at just like popular market plays for this game, and it's the top 2 plays are Griffin Canning under strikeouts and then Griffin Canning over strikeouts. So it seems like everyone is torn as well.
What was the number on?
4.5 strikeouts, and then for Trevor Williams, it's at 3.5 on the over, and under you can get a 3.5 for plus money.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if I don't have any real pull on that. I was trying to find other pitching props that we could go with, but there's nothing that I really loved. We could, if you're down, we could take some hitter props. James Wood.
Okay. GOAT.
-105, 1.5 HRR. Don't hate it.
Not at all. James Wood.
Kybert Ruiz, even odds.
Okay. Yeah. Ruiz.
What do you think?
Bet MGM. I would lean Wood, personally. I want to look really quick into it. I have one hitter prop I placed later, and I have a few leans on hitter props. Let me quickly pull up James Wood and let's see what we're working with here, because I like James Wood a lot, and I feel like this could be a
I do too. I mean, the dude's a phenomenal hitter. All of his, I mean, he's having a good season. His expected stats look good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate the play of him or either Kybert. I mean, Kybert just ends up batting behind him and Abrams, so I feel like that's a pretty good spot for an RBI chance there.
Yeah, no, he's hitting pretty well, getting good contact on balls. ISO's really good against right-handed pitchers. Left-handed batters, Cannon gives up a 282 batting average so far this season, so obviously in favor there.
Wait, James Wood's he's a lefty. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I said left-handed.
Okay.
Maybe I said it wrong, sorry, but left-handed batters is what I'm looking at. 282 batting average there versus left-handed batters. Was hitting a 250 versus righties. A lot of ISO, 163. So high K percentage, but I think we can live with that. And take him to hit over 1.5 HRR for sure. Like the spot. All right, and he's hitting at the 2 hole. From what I'm seeing, definitely could get brought in there. Yeah, no, 1.5 HRR feels like a great spot. -105 too. I like that play a lot. All right. We can head into the Twins and Guardians at the 6:10 first pitch. Twins +113, Guardians -122 over 7.5. You can get for a little bit of juice. You're gonna probably look for more of the 8s, and you get under 8.5 for -120. Money lines with Cleveland. Spread is pretty much dead even, but leaning Cleveland, and the total is on the under. Bailey Ober and Gavin Williams are on the mound. The popular play is Bailey Ober under strikeouts. What are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I mean, we got two pitchers that coming off good seasons, but also struggling so far in this one. So it's kind of hard to tell what we're going to get from them. Gavin Williams had a pretty good outing last week against the Yankees, so maybe he's turning things around. Bailey Ober, I feel like this is a good matchup for him and might be able to just like spam changeups against a pretty heavy left-handed lineup. So I could see him having a good game too. I guess I would lean the Twins money line simply just because they're dogs, and I think this is going to be a close game. I also wrote down over the over in the first 5. I'll double check what the number on that one is right now.
+115, +110.
4.5 for the overs +115.
+110 on real books. It was +115 on ProfitX. So
okay, 4.5. I don't hate it just because, like I said, both these pitchers kind of struggling this year. One of them is probably in line for a little bit of a rough outing. So, you know, I could see some runs being given up. Ober's underlying metrics don't look great at all, but I still got to imagine he is going to figure it out sooner rather than later. So
I think should be an interesting matchup. What are some of his underlying metrics? I don't have him up right now.
This year, his xERA is in the 24th percentile. His xBA is in the 16th percentile. Average exit velocity against is in the 1st percentile. So
shit, yeah.
He's getting a decent amount of strikeouts, you know, limiting walks.
Just getting real.
But like it's a horrendous 5.04 ERA this year with a 144 WHIP.
Yeah. That's tough.
So,
all right. Well, I don't have any plays directly for that game, if I'm not mistaken. So I can keep it pushing if you're good. To the next one.
Yeah,
but
I
think we got to keep in mind
else.
Twins for dog of the day. I do like that spot. Maybe even we go Nationals dog of the day. But Orioles and Yankees are next. I saw a video today on the Orioles about how they just got to figure out, they got to make trades. Pitching trades has to happen. Too much talent on this roster to not make something happen for them to kind of make a push, because I feel like, I mean, the video was talking about how just their pitching is horrendous right now, and I would have to agree. But nonetheless, they are plus money today against the Yankees. Yankees are -125. Over under is 9.5. Money line is with the Yanks. Spread is dead even, and the total is on the over. Will Warren And our boy, Tommy Sagano, the boy is on the mound. Let's go, the Italian Stallion, back at it. The common play is the Yanks money line, and the most bet on prop for player props is Aaron Judge over half a hit at -280. So,
yeah, so I think this is the game that I'll probably have the most action on. I feel like a lot of runs are coming. 9.5 is a tall total for sure, but I still lean with the over there. And, you know, I could take full game. First 5 over 4.5 feels really good too. Both these pitchers, super sketch. I know Sagano has gone 7 innings and done pretty well, but he's a dude who's like way overperforming his expected metrics. I don't believe him to be an actual good pitcher, and against the Yankees lineup, like, could be a disaster for him. So the leans that I have right now, I would say over in the first 5, which is 5.5, I think. Sagano over 2.5 earned runs. Will Warren over 2.5 earned runs. I think those 3 are the ones that I feel best about. And I was also looking at some hitter props. Ben Rice to score a run. Gunnar Henderson to score a run. Both those like +110 or something. Kind of interesting hitter props. Don't know if I'll actually be on them. Don't really like taking hitter props, but lots of runs in this one is what I'm going with.
Yeah, I was thinking the over earned runs on Sagano. Well, I didn't really look into Will Warren, but I mean, if this game's going to be a rake fest like it seems like that's great value at the +125 you can get him at there. So, yeah, definitely like that spot. Hitter props are interesting for this one. What's the weather look like today? I haven't checked.
Let me pull it up. Weather will have a minimal impact.
It should be good there. Low key, I kind of like the Cedric Mullins 1.5 HRR. Warren has struggled. Warren has struggled versus left-handed batters. Cedric has done really well this season and against right-handed batters. ISO looks great. He's 4 doubles against them, 4 homers. Playing really well so far to start the season. Obviously batting leadoff as of right now. I don't know if that's going to change today or not. But I feel like that's a really good spot for him to, in a game where there should be a lot of runs, to be able to get a hit and then be brought in.
Yeah, I like it. I think you can almost go no wrong taking like a hitter HRR today. I feel like a ton of runs are going to be scored.
Yeah, so it should be a good game. I'm leaning Cedric. Tony gave you his lanes and plays. And make sure, if you guys, disclaimer, if you're not in the Discord, you hop in the Discord. All the plays are posted in Discord, adding everybody so you know exactly when we place our bets, exactly the values we get them at, so you can get them as soon as possible. The Discord's completely free. You don't have to pay for anything, so make sure you hop in there. We have about 2,000 people in there that get the plays every single day, so make sure to join the community. The link should be in the description, and if it's not, it's definitely in the YouTube description. So just like back out, go to the main page, and it should be right there. But hopping into the next one, we have the Cardinals and Reds. Reds -116, Cardinals +109, or you can get it at +105. Over-unders 9.5. Money lines with Cincy, spreads with Cincy, totals on the under. Nick Martinez and Andre how do you say that one? Palatine? Yeah, okay, whatever. The most popular play is Cincy money line from -116 on FanDuel. Where are you at for this game?
Yeah, so I kind of am interested in the Andre Palante outline. It's at 15.5 right now. This is a number that he's hit 2 of his 5 starts this year. But if you go back to last year, in games that he like actually started, I think he had 20 starts, and he went over in I want to say like 60% of them, 67%. So I mean, he's a dude who gets a ton of ground balls. 98th percentile ground ball rate is not really limiting hard contact like he did last year. He was great in terms of opposing barrel rate and average exit velocity. This year, not so much the story, but the Reds aren't. I know that like the Reds offense has games of absolute explosion where they put up like 20 runs, but they're a very hit or miss offense. And maybe in the Great American Ballpark, this is not a time where you want to bet against the Reds offense, but I do think that's a pretty low line for a guy like Palante, who gets a lot of weak contact early in counts and can go pretty deep into games as long as he's like kind of, limiting the runs scoring against him. So I think that's my lean for today.
Yeah, that's definitely a solid spot. I'm gonna go a little bit of a different direction. One of my plays I have is Brendan Donovan to go over 1.5 HRR. He's been seeing the ball really well. Obviously hit this in 4 of his last 5 games, as well as 6 of his last 8 games. Obviously that means he's just kind of like he's hot. He's hot. He's batting 359 on the season. Against, and even better against righties at 392 average versus right-handed pitchers. So again, just smashing the ball. Nick Martinez allows a 275 batting average of left-handed hitters, which is exactly obviously Donovan's split. 5 career plate appearances versus Martinez, hitting 750 versus him. Obviously, there's only 5 appearances, very low volume, I understand, but it's still something to show that he's faced him before and had success. Also, again, batting 3rd in the lineup, definitely can get rallied in by Arenado or Burleson here. Maybe even Jordan Walker if it gets that far down, but he definitely can either hit one in and get a ribby, or can definitely get batted around for him. So I think 1.5 HRR feels like a really good spot today in a good matchup.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Nick Martinez is a dude who I think I probably like more than what he actually is. I mean, I feel like as a starter, it hasn't really gone well for him, but he's a dude that like normally, especially like last year when he was called out of the bullpen, pitched really well. Yeah, part of me thinks that like Nick Martinez can have a good outing, but he's yet to really shown that from a starter position. So I don't hate it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out, but I just like that play by the metrics. We can hop into the next one though. We have the Athletics and the Rangers. Here, Athletics -104, the Rangers at -106. Over-unders 9.5. Money lines with the A's, spreads with the Rangers, totals on the under. JP Sears and Patrick Corbin are on the mounds. Those popular play for today's game is over 4.5 strikeouts for JP Sears. Where are you at for this one, Stain?
I think I want to fade Patrick Corbin in this spot. Like, that should be easy. That's been the move for like the last 3, 4, maybe even 5 years now. Every time Patrick Corbin's on the hill, you just fucking fade him. Obviously putting together a pretty good year so far. But like, how much of that do you actually want to buy? What I was looking at was his over hits allowed, over earned runs, maybe even under strikeouts. A's have a good offense. They don't strike out a ton. And I think I kind of lean with the under strikeouts, just because even when Patrick Corbin has been cooking this year, it's been a really low strikeout rate, only 15.9% of his batters, 15th percentile mark. So, dude doesn't get a whole lot of whiffs, but, gets weak contact. So I think the under strikeouts for Patrick Corbin is probably going to be my move today. Although, if you wanted to take, over, I think it was maybe 4.5 hits or 2.5 runs, I think that's a good move too.
Well, the community agrees with you, as that is the 3rd most popular pick. You're getting it -120 on DraftKings. Seems like the best value that I'm seeing, or BetMGM. Yeah, but I like the play a lot. I think you're kind of hit around the head there. So, and I don't really have anything for this game. I was kind of torn. I was looking at batter props, but I couldn't really find anything exactly what I wanted, so I kind of stayed away.
We'd take a look real quick. Tyler Soderstrom -105.
He's always doing.
Obviously, yeah. Soderstrom's just fucking raking right now, so that always feels like a good one. Don't hate his HRR.
All right, yeah.
Lawrence Butler over 1.5 bases +130.
Total bases.
Yeah.
+130. Stain. Total bases is sketchy, but I'm down.
It is sketch.
Again, lefty, so tough matchup, but could definitely make it happen. He's batting only 167 versus lefties, though. Oh, that's his ISO. Excuse me. 208 batting average. ISO's 167. 1 double, 1 home run, 26 plate appearances. So not a lot of volume, but yeah, it's interesting. Not a bad shout. Nothing I love though. Nothing I'm like super on. So we can keep it pushing here. Don't want to waste any more time. But I also kind of like the A's money line today. It might be something I would lean. Anyway,
I don't hate it. JP Sears is hard to tell what the hell you're gonna get out of him on a day. I just feel like his floor is so much lower than what his ceiling is. Like,
fair.
You could get like 6 decent outings, or you could get like 3 disastrous ones. So I kind of feel like that juice probably isn't worth the squeeze. I feel like the props we listed are probably better moves than like just straight up back in the A's.
100%. All right, Detroit and Houston, plus 100 for Detroit, minus 110 for the Astros. Over 7.5 you can get for minus 112, and you can get under 8. If you want to get that, money line is going to be with Detroit. Spreads of Detroit and totals on the under. Flattery and Blanco are on the mounds. The popular play for today is Detroit money line and over 17.5. Jack Flattery outs.
One thing I found interesting, I don't love it, but I think it's like where I'm kind of leaning for today. It's Blanco to go over 15.5 outs. Looked a lot better in his last outing than he has for the rest of the year. His underlying metrics aren't bad. Obviously he's not producing at the level that he was last year, but the number that he did hit in 68% of his starts last year. So kind of a low line for him. Tigers aren't that strong of an offense. Does walk a lot of hitters, which ultimately fucking sucks for this line. But, there's not a ton that I like in this game, but I think that is the move I would be looking to is Blanco outs.
Yeah, I was looking at the same thing. Detroit, obviously, second worst weighted runs created last 15 games, on base percentage, 6th worst. Walking, the 8th fewest, as well as the ground ball to fly ball ratio is 5th worst so far. So again, should be a lot of quick, easy outs for him. This looks like this is just a great matchup overall for him to have a good day. He's also in the 74th percentile and swing to strike percentage, so he could get some Ks there as well to add on to it. But I think the outs is a really solid shout. He looked good, obviously, last game to give us some confidence moving in here against my beloved Blue Jays. But yeah, I like the outs a lot for Blanco.
What was Blanco's strikeout line?
His strikeout line is at 5.5 with a little bit of juice.
Yeah, that is kind of juiced. Yeah, I don't know if that's worth playing, but it's interesting. I think I like outs better for sure.
All right. Yeah, no, I like the outs for sure. I think it's a great play for today. That would be the exact spot I would go as well. So we're on the same page there. If you don't have anything else, we'll hop into the Braves and Rockies. Rockies are quite literally the worst team in baseball right now. Braves starting to figure it out. Minus 165 for the Braves in this one, plus 150 for the Rockies, over under 10.5. Obviously, as we're in Colorado. Every single time I've been over in Colorado, it has not hit so far this season. So I am staying away, but money line is with Atlanta. Spread is in the dead center. Totals on the over. Feltner and Elder on the mounds. The most popular play for this one is going to be the total of the game, going over 10.5 at plus 100. Where are you at for this one?
Yeah, I guess I don't really hate the over in this one. Like, neither of these starting pitchers I have much faith in. I was kind of looking at some strikeout lines here. I think both of them are set at 4.5. I was looking at the under for both guys. Obviously, for Elder, this is like a money matchup. So that is a little scary, but 7th percentile K rate, 6th percentile whiff. So is really not getting a ton of strikeouts, only 12 and 21 innings. But do you really want to back the Rockies in avoiding strikeouts?
Yeah.
Probably not. Feltner, on the other hand, just tough matchup against the Braves at home in Coors Field. So I think the strikeout line for him is a little high. 21 strikeouts in 25 and 2/3 innings, 31 percentile K rate. So, could go with the under strikeouts. Could go with the over. Don't really love anything here. Maybe first 5. I got to imagine the first 5 run line's probably like 5.5 with some juice on the over.
Yeah, I do have one play for this one. I like, well, technically two. I have Bryce Elder over 17.5 outs. Obviously, he's probably not going to see the Ks that you were talking about earlier, but I think he's going to get some quick and easy outs here. Gone over this in 2 of his last 4 starts. Obviously, faces the best matchup you could literally have. Rockies are on a 6-game losing streak, ranking 3rd worst or lower in weighted runs created, on base percentage for right-handed pitchers, and strikeouts. Elder's also shown obviously steady improvement, now averaging about 94 pitches over the last 3 outings, giving him some more volume to go deep into this game. Again, obviously against Colorado, it's a little bit of a juice line, but I think this should be a easy easy over to get for the 17.5 outs, and I have him to record a win at plus 120, which I also felt really good about. Obviously, I think the Braves crush the Rockies today.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little sketch backing Elder here. I know like the Rockies offense is terrible, but you could also just kind of get popped in cores. Although like if there is an offense that is so bad that they can't even perform there, it's probably the Rockies. Yeah. I guess he did it against St. Louis, did it against Tampa.
Yeah, I'm not like,
yeah, I don't know.
I'm not gonna harp here and say it's like you have to absolutely must take it. It's just something I looked at. I like the matchup. I think even despite his struggles a little bit, he's gonna be able to have a pretty good day here. I get the Rockies. I'm just fading the Rockies in general. I think they're just at a point where they are so fucking ass.
They are pretty fucking bad.
Yeah. Also, I think they're just gonna get shelled early, and then there's gonna be a lot of confidence that kind of falls through, and the Braves could just run away with this one pretty easily. But yeah, should be able to kind of hold a pretty good pitch count here as well. So that's kind of where I'm at for it. But we can move on for sure. For our last game, we have Miami Marlins versus the Dodgers. Dodgers are minus 258 in this one. Marlins are plus 233, and the total is over 8.5, under 8.5. I don't really have to go through the money lines and spreads. You know who that is. And then the totals on the over. Cabrera and Dustin May are on the mounds. The most popular play for today is under strikeouts for Cabrera at minus 150. So,
what's the number for it?
Under 5.5 Ks for minus 150 is the most popular play for Edward Cabrera.
Yeah, I mean it is like one of the toughest matchups you can have as a pitcher. I will say I feel like Cabrera is way underperforming some of his underlying metrics. His XBA and XERA look a lot better than what it's been. Also gets a ton of strikeouts. Really what kills Cabrera is his walks. He lets up a ton of free bases, and against the Dodgers, that's obviously a recipe for disaster if you're going to like give him any free passes. So it could end up horribly for him for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if he also, had a pretty decent outing here. And with Dustin May on the other side of a mound, pitching well, great matchup. I could see it going under, kind of like the under of 8.5 here. Marlins bullpen isn't the worst. Dodgers, obviously, great bullpen. Yeah, I think that's where I kind of lean. I'm surprised people. I guess I'm not that surprised that people are taking his under strikeouts because it is the Dodgers. But like, if there's one thing Cabrera can do is kind of punch people out,
No, 100%. I also think people just don't have confidence in him going deep in this game at all. So I think that's another.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
That's another pretty big part of it. But yeah, I don't have anything for this game. I think it's gonna be a wash of a game. Obviously, the money line, the spread kind of tells the story of that. Juiced at minus 1.5 for the Dodgers, plus 2.5 is the value you can get for the Marlins. But it's just no real anything I like here. What are we thinking for, unless you have another play, what are we thinking for the dog of the day?
I don't have another play for this one. I will say, though, Augustin Ramirez is fucking raking right now, the new catcher for the Marlins. So,
Yeah.
like, I don't even think I saw a line for him this morning. But, like, he might be a dude that I'm just trying to blindly back until he fucking cools off. He's just out of control right now. But anyways, dog of the day. The Nats, I think we could go with in terms of like best value. Don't know. I don't obviously think they have like the best chance of pulling off the upset here, but I do think there's a ton of value in the plus 145 or whatever. And then Twins, I think, are like a legitimate 50-50. So, you know, not a bad dog either. Wouldn't hate the Orioles.
I would say I'm probably between the Twins and Orioles if I had to be between two for today. That's kind of where I'm leaning, but I think I would lean further to the Twins. You get a little bit of better value as well. You can get them at plus 110 on ESPN Bet. That's where I would go. And if you're down, we can make that our dog of the day at plus 110.
Twins. I definitely don't hate a Twins play here now.
All right, bet. Let me. I'm gonna place that now. ESPN Bet plus 110 for the Twins. Dog of the day. Where should we go for Gutta's homer of the day? I got $5. Where are we placing it on? That's what we need to know. Who is hitting a fucking dong today?
Interesting. Just looking at the ballparks, St. Louis, Cincinnati. In Cincinnati feels like a good ballpark to hit a home run. I guess I'd lean there. Not a lot of other ballparks. I mean, Coors too. I think we should probably stick with one of those games, either Coors or Cincinnati.
Okay. I'm down to go with someone like Austin Riley, maybe. Also Riley plus 420. We can go Matt Olson plus 440. Sean Murphy
plus 440.
Ozzie.
Brenton Doyle 560. Feels kind of good.
You get him for 625 on BetMGM.
Damn.
That's cooking. That's got
Brenton
some
Doyle
gas.
feels good. That's a far one, but
650 for
long shot.
Ozzie.
Cardinals red.
I'm torn.
I was looking at that game. Kind of feel like, you know who might be a decent one? Gavin Lux. I'm seeing at 11-1. I mean, that's like super fucking long odds. But dude has some good.
He's good pop.
He does have good pop. He's got a 90th percentile launch angle. 75th percentile squared up.
All right, don't gotta tell me twice. I'm taking plus 1100 odds. That I like Gavin Lux,
baby.
I like him. Lux, whatever the fuck.
Gavin Lux against Palante.
Got some pop.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to see the kid in the new threads. Don't want to see the kid popping off this year. But I like that spot a lot. Got some pop too. Good launch angle, as you said. We'll take it. Plus 11 hundo for the boys. So we have dog of the day is going to be the Twins. And we're going to take Gavin Lux for the home run of the day. You heard all of our plays before. But if you missed any of those, make sure to hop in the Discord. It's absolutely free. And to follow us on Twitter, obviously. Outside of those things, we'll be back again tomorrow for another MLB video. So make sure to tune in for that. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.